Hey, I'm Josie Dunne, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I'm excited to finally sit down here with you.
I know, it's been a long time coming.
It definitely has been. I've been definitely a fan, and I'm so excited that people are paying attention to your stuff. I mean, you've been on tour practically the entire year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of touring. I was just saying, I think I haven't been in Nashville, like, in my bed for longer than 3 days in the last, like, 5 months. But I love it. I love it. I'm having a blast, so.
That's amazing. So,
Yeah.
tell me about like that transition from you, because I know, growing up you were performing, but then you got the publishing deal and started writing for other people. So then now you're doing the artist. So what was that transition from being the songwriter to being now the artist, focusing on your music?
I think for me, in songwriting, I looked at kind of the body of songs that I had and realized that there was just a common thread in between them all. And so for me as an artist, it was just like kind of paying attention to that thread and like seeing like, oh, that's me, that's how I write songs, and that's who I am as an artist and as a singer, and like that's the story that I have. And so then kind of just taking that and making it like the most me version of itself in the songs that I do now. Right. So yeah, it's been really fun. I think the transition was a lot easier probably than I thought. I like writing for other people. Like songwriting is like my love, and writing for other people is a blast because you get to play pretend for a day, But writing for myself is like, I think really the heart of why I love to write songs and do music and stuff.
Right. Now, while you were writing for other people, did those kind of sessions kind of help you figure out who you wanted to be as an artist, or is that something that you're still trying to figure out yourself?
I mean, I think just as a human being in the world, like I'll always be growing and learning, and I could be 80 years old and still learn more and more about myself. Right. But I think songwriting for other people definitely helped me. I mean, just like I said, like just finding the common thread between all the things and realizing like, oh, this is how I say stuff, and this is the language I use, and how I envision a video, where I'm just making it up for another person, but like I always had a vision for all of those kind of things. And so to get to just do them as an artist is like a dream come true.
Yeah. Now, as you mentioned, you always have a vision for your videos, always have a vision for what you're writing. New single I was listening to it, Ooh La La, and like, oh my gosh, like you just can't stop getting better and better every time you release something. So, what was in mind when you were writing this track, and like what kind of inspired you to create it?
I actually wrote the chorus. I was at a writing camp in Las Vegas, and I was waiting for my session to start, and I was like super bored in the hotel room. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a drinker. So I was like, Vegas is kind of like pretty boring for me, or just like staying in a casino is like not my cup of tea. So I was sitting in my hotel room like twiddling my thumbs, and I came up with this melody, and just started going like ooh la la, and it all kind of just happened really fast, where I got the whole chorus. I was just sitting looking out the window and got the whole chorus really, really quickly, and then brought it to one of my best friends who's a writer I've written with a bunch, and we wrote the rest of the song and spent months tweaking it. And I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm glad you like it.
I'm loving it. I really love like that intro, the sounds in the intro, the introduction. Like, what inspired it? Because I mean, you don't hear that. It made me like think about like old. I don't even know if I'm even like quoting the right one, but it was like back in the day, like cartoons. Like there was a specific cartoon that like it like I have it at the tip of my tongue, but I can't even say it.
I know. For some reason, it reminds me of like Legend of Zelda or something. That we made that sound. We played that little part on like a guitar, and we were like, oh, it doesn't sound as cool. We played it on the piano. I was like, that doesn't sound as cool. We tried a couple different synths and stuff, and then we messed with this like old 80s synth and just kind of manipulated the sound and got this really weird sound. And I'm like, it sounds like a video game. Let's just go with that. So that's how we got that sound.
So is that going to inspire the music video as well, like in a sense, like video game-esque?
No.
Maybe?
I wish. My little brother would be stoked, but no, we did. The whole music video is all in we got this really old doctor's office that basically hasn't been touched since like the 80s probably. Wow. And it looks really, really cool. And so we kind of did this very like, it's where I'm kind of like trying to erase my memories. I'm like so like caught up on this old boyfriend, and I'm like, I need to like get this guy out of my head, because
So that's what happens when you don't get the good guys.
Yeah.
The good boys, sorry.
Exactly. That's awesome.
So what are we doing here today? What are you shooting today?
Today, I'm shooting a dance video with my little sister. She's a dancer, and so I flew out to LA, and she's choreographed a dance with a bunch of her buddies, and we're filming it here in this really cool space.
It's insane.
I know.
It's insane.
I know. It's awesome. The ceiling is crazy.
I know, right? Now back to this new single. It's part of your upcoming EP, sophomore EP. Like the debut EP dropped last year, and I feel like, honestly, like I feel like I've just been listening to you for like quite some time, which is crazy that when I actually saw that it's only been a year since like you released your debut single. But how do you feel like your evolution has been from releasing your debut single to now getting ready to prep for the sophomore?
I think with the last EP, a lot of it was me still trying to figure out who I was. So a lot of it was, I think, just like me blindly throwing darts at the board and seeing what stuck. And those songs I'm really proud of, and they were like, I was growing up and figuring out who I was and blah, 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 blah. But I think with this next EP, I really have kind of sorted out what is my thing and who I am. I think I've done a lot of like just like self-growth. Yeah. And so I'm really excited because I think these songs are just like a really great representation of how I talk and how I'm like goofy and my humor and my like what I've been through. And so I'm really, really stoked about these songs. Yeah.
Now, you've actually worked with Nick Bailey a couple times. Yeah. And I grew up a pop punk kid. So I grew up following his bands Over It and Runner Runner like 10 years ago. So, what was it like doing these writing sessions with him and collaborating with Nick?
Nick's the man. It was awesome. We wrote Old School, and that was definitely the first song that I was like, oh, this is like Josie Dunne, the artist. I feel really solid, and like it was the centerpiece of the last EP. And yeah, Nick is like the man. He's awesome, and he was really, really funny. He came up actually from that session. I'll never forget it because it was one of my first sessions in LA, and he came up, he like walked in and was like literally, I think he was still wearing a wetsuit and was like, man, I was just surfing. He's like, yeah. He was like, I just got back. There's some great waves out there today. And we wrote a song, and I'm like, what is my life right now? I'm in LA. Like, it's really funny. It was the most LA moment.
Yeah, that's definitely him. I'm sure he's still the same way right now.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's such a good dude.
So with all the songwriters that you've kind of been able to collaborate, have you been able to work with Caitlin Tarver? That's someone that I would love to hear a collaboration, you and her.
I haven't, but I'm down.
You got to make that happen. Yeah. Like that's something. But with all these, collaborators that you've had, like which one has kind of like impacted you, whether your writing process or your artistry, like the most?
Ooh, I think I found in Nashville and in LA, but in Nashville, I found like a really great group of writers that I feel so comfortable with, and just one-on-one we can like really connect and write a song. It's like Sam Ellis, Andrew DeRoberts, Ben Johnson. There's like a group of really great writers that I just feel super, super connected to that have like kind of helped me navigate the waters, and that they've seen a bunch of artists come up and have just had really good advice from me being on the road and writing songs and releasing songs. And so I feel really lucky that like my team is really tight and just has my back,
I mean, your team seems fun. Like, we've been having fun all morning. It doesn't seem like we're here to work.
Keep the party going.
So back to this upcoming EP, like, what do you feel has been the biggest challenge in creating this upcoming EP?
I think for me, one of the hardest bits was figuring out, like, how to evolve, I guess, because I really liked the first EP, and so it was figuring out how to, like, make a more mature version of that without straying too far away or going too pop or going too like Motown or too organic. And so trying to find a real middle road between those was kind of a challenge, because things tend to lean one way or another, and I really wanted it to have organic elements but feel like a pop song in every single song. And so picking the sounds that I think accomplish that without making it to this way, just making it like the song be the showcase. That was a hard part for me. But it's a fun challenge. It's like a puzzle, It's part of the writing process.
Now, on your previous music, you challenged yourself by learning the trumpet because you wanted that in your music. So do you feel like, is there something else that you challenge yourself on this EP, that maybe a sound or maybe another instrument that you really wanted on this music and you just had to figure out how to do it yourself?
Yeah, I think for me, the challenge with the new music has been the show. I've just only started touring in the last couple months. And so figuring out like what my live show looks like and how I switch between instruments and, you know, whatever, I think that's been a really big challenge, but I love it so much. It's so much fun. So figuring out, you know, like just a balance between like me standing up there and playing the guitar versus me jumping around and jumping off the amp. And I like a really high energy show. So like creating moments within the show has been something that I've never done before and a really fun like opportunity that I get to do it.
Now, you also collaborated with Matoma for a track. How did this track come about? And, you know, what was that collaboration like? Did you guys get to work together on this, or was this like through the internet?
It was so random. So he needed a singer. He was putting out the record really soon. He needed a singer. I think it was like a week turnaround or something before he's like, we need it done. We need it mixed and put out. And so that night that I heard the track, my A&R person played it for me at the label and was like, check this out. I think you would like rock this vocal. That night we went into the studio and like all night recorded a vocal and sent it in. And just kind of stuff started moving along with it. And I was a huge fan of his. Like I'd actually had seen him live before too. So I was like a really big fan of his and big fan of the song. And it just kind of worked out. And so getting to meet him and hang with him and do like videos together and stuff, he's become like a buddy, and I'm like really grateful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear more stuff like that with you, like more collaborations, because I love the way that your vocals sounded with his music.
Oh, thank you. I've had a lot of fun with that. I think especially because like coming up on songwriting and it's all collaboration, so to get to do artist collaborations too has been really, really cool. And getting to learn from people that are in other spaces and learn about like, I don't know that I would know that much about the EDM world had it not been for, not yet. But it had it not been for that like opportunity. So it's really fun. Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you real quick because I would love to hear a collaboration with you and Lost Kings. I don't know if you're familiar with Lost Kings, but that would be amazing.
Yes, we got to put this out there into the world because I want to do a collaboration with them so badly. I think it'd be a great fit too.
I think so too.
Horns and stuff, it'd be awesome.
And they also they love actually playing their instruments too on stage. So I think that would be awesome as well. Like if you guys were to even eventually do a show together, like I think that would be insane. They jump as well as you do, so it's like crazy.
Both can catch some real air. That would be a fun show. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. I'm a huge fan of theirs, so that would be dope.
2019 or 2020, it has to happen. We have to make it work. Atlantic, let's figure something out.
I know. Pressure's on Atlantic. Let's do it.
So what else can fans expect, from you right now? You're shooting a video right now. You're getting ready for an EP. The single drops on the 28th of June. What else can we expect? More touring? Are you taking a break from that now?
No, more and more shows. I've got a bunch of shows coming up in the summer and fall, just little random like spurts and runs of shows, and a lot of headlining stuff, which I'm really excited about because I've done very minimal of that. So getting to do my own thing. We've got a longer set later in the night. I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to that. I'm super excited for you and all the new material that's going to be coming out. You guys be sure to check out Josie Dunne. New single, Ooh La La, drops June 28th. Thanks for watching On Front Row Live.